Funding for this program is provided by Indiana Works Councils and Vincennes University.
In recent years, the state of Indiana has led the nation in manufacturing employment, but with an aging workforce beginning to retire, manufacturers report difficulty filling much-needed positions. Coming up next, we're going to learn more about the Alcoa Foundation Teachers Manufacturing Bootcamp and how the program is educating area teachers and students about careers in manufacturing. Stay with us. Welcome to Career Pathways, taking the technical lane. In this show, we'll be learning more about the Manufacturing Teachers Bootcamp, a program developed with a grant from the Alcoa Foundation. The program is designed for local educators to learn about careers in the manufacturing industry. In return, they can take that knowledge and share it with their students as they prepare for the future. Throughout the show, we'll be speaking with a number of representatives who participate in the program. But to start things off, we're here with Jim Heck with Work One Southwest. And Jim, welcome.
Thank you.
Well, tell me a little bit about the history of the Teacher Boot Camp.
Well, we were looking for something that would help us educate students on the good manufacturing jobs right here in this region that pay good, have good benefits, and what pathway they would need to take to get into those jobs. So we were trying to educate them on the career and tech education pathways and what they could do to get it. We heard about a program out in Iowa where one company did a few teachers, and we wanted to expand on that. So we talked to 4 different companies and got 30 teachers coming in every year for the last 2 years. So we've had 60 teachers go through it so far, and those teachers then take this back, build a curriculum around it to teach those kids how they can get into these pathways, how they can and how they can learn and earn those kinds of wages.
Well, why is it so needed here in Southwest Indiana?
We do have a shortage of workers, especially in the skilled areas in manufacturing, and we want to try to fill those jobs. And we're trying to show that these are not your parents' manufacturing jobs. These are good, clean jobs, highly technical jobs, and they pay very well.
Very important. All right, well, we sat down with some graduates of the 2015 Teacher Boot Camp, and they talked about their experiences and how they were able to implement what they learned into their classrooms. Let's take a look.
The Teacher Boot Camp is a way to get teachers out there in the manufacturing sites to see what it's all about, so we can take it back to our schools and educate our students.
What I was fascinated by was how well it seems like they treat their employees. They are really committed to keeping them there.
They have wonderful benefits, wonderful pay, they care about their employees, and they're there to help you along the way.
College is great, but it's not for everybody, and I think a lot of times parents push their kids in that direction, and some people just like to work with their hands, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Teacher Boot Camp was probably the most successful professional development program I've ever gone to.
I thought it was a great program. I really enjoyed it, and I think that teachers often, they grew up in the suburbs and then they went to college and then they went right into teaching, and maybe we don't have the mechanical knowledge that we should have that would help us to advise our kids better. I think it'll give them some perspective.
A lot of our students, some of their parents didn't go to college, or they're in a situation now where college is so expensive, they just see it as maybe it's almost unreachable for some of them. By encouraging them that there's different paths to take to have nice jobs, I think that's one of the things that the boot camp gives teachers.
The push has been to college recently, in probably I would say the past 20 years to go to college. So sometimes students get a little bit confused that has to be their first step, and this has given me some information as far as salary and job outlook to maybe steer them in a different direction where they maybe won't incur such college tuition debt along the way.
You can get people to the workplace, they can do all the training, they can make sure they have everything they need to do the job, but they need to be responsible. And one of the things that I took away from that was teaching my kids how to manage their money. So when I went back to my classroom, I made like a checkbook register and classroom cash, and the kids will earn money just like a job.
If we get our homework done and our planner signed, then we'll get some money and then we'll record it on our spendings and records sheet.
Whenever we were at Toyota, they had us go upstairs and do some practices like people that have just hired in before they put them out on the assembly line. So I created this drill set for the kids to do in the classroom, so they learn how to work a drill or a kid's drill and incorporate it into the math lesson.
I'm supposed to drill these screws into the right hole with the right number. I think it feels kind of like a puzzle.
They actually take you through the process. They actually, at Toyota, let us use the tools that they use for training. And all of this is something that we can bring back to the classroom and relate to with the students. And the students love it. They love hearing about actually what goes on in the plants. And before that, I honestly didn't know.
It's made a pretty big impact this year as far as which direction I lead students to. As a guidance counselor, they often come to me with questions of what can I do if I don't want to go to college, and now I have some resources in my tool bag, so to speak, to give those students.
If you don't get out into these corporations and understand what they want and what they're looking for, you don't know.
Some teachers are afraid to try new things, or they've done certain things every summer, but that's really a chance to broaden what they see, to get to know more about the Tri-State and the jobs that are available to their students, a chance to interrelate with other teachers in the community. I think all that helps us become better teachers.
Joining us now are representatives from the manufacturing industry. Their organizations play a large role in the Teacher Bootcamp, providing hands-on instruction and education about careers in the industry. We are joined now by Jeff France from Alcoa, Mary Reese from Berry Plastics, Bob Stempel from Sabic, and Terry Henderson from Toyota. And welcome to all of you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the misconceptions working in manufacturing in the industry, and maybe dispel some of those misconceptions and talk about what it's like, the current manufacturing today.
I think industry, for Alcoa, I think industry is different than what it has been in the past. It is very technologically advanced. The working conditions are very good at this point. And when you think of industry as large as what's represented on this stage today, it takes so many different types of employees with varying backgrounds and education levels. Not every position requires a 4-year bachelor's degree, for example. In fact, the majority do not, but we do have a skills gap that we're trying to fill, and we're going to talk about that today.
Well, yeah, let's talk about some of the working conditions, what it's like today. You talk about it being different than maybe companies that your parents worked for. Tell them a little bit about what it's like now.
Sure. At Berry Plastics, our plant is climate controlled, so it's air conditioned, so that's quite different from years past. There's a lot of opportunities for employees to come in and to work in various positions. We start with students. If they're seniors out of high school and they don't know what they want to do, they can come work with us through the summer. They can get a feel for what opportunities are available. We have apprenticeship programs. We have co-op opportunities, internships. So we also have education reimbursement. So if they come in and they are uncertain, but they feel that perhaps they want to go in this direction or this direction, we have education support for them. So again, as indicated earlier, a 4-year degree is not for everyone, but students can come in, perhaps go in the technical field, go through an apprenticeship program and not incur that debt. So they're learning on the job while they're going to school, while Berry is supporting that. So that's a win-win situation for the students, and a good opportunity to learn and to grow into various roles.
So they can kind of try it out.
Correct.
See if it's something they're interested in, see what it's like now, today,
Absolutely.
As opposed to maybe 30 years ago.
Absolutely.
Well, what are some of or you want to, sorry.
I would say in a Toyota we have maybe an opportunity for especially students and the public to come in from our visitor center. We have a great facility. We bring in about 15,000 visitors each year, so it gives them a chance to give a hands-on tour of the operation, to understand what the what the plant looks like, the type of work that they're going to be doing, and it's just a good way to get kind of what students don't see and what they think anymore about manufacturing the way it used to be.
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the benefits to employees now working in these plants or working for these companies.
So I guess I could add some there. You know, the pay and benefits that our employees are, have the luxury to, as well as the other companies that are represented here, have taken care of families over the years, thousands of families over the years. And you mentioned a couple: tuition reimbursement, there's medical benefits, dental benefits, life insurance, and then the pay, is, people can come right out of high school, get a little experience, maybe an associate degree at Ivy Tech, come to our plant and make, $60,000 a year starting out and end up over $100,000 a year. So, definitely well-paying jobs. And, we're really talking about, we're up here 4 companies representing the region. It's not really just about us, it's about the entire region.
I think I know it's the same with all of these companies, but we're global companies. Mm-hmm. And one of the benefits that we have being such large industries is the opportunity for career growth, because many people have to go from one company to another company to another company to elevate their career or grow in their career. With large companies like this, you can grow your career at our location, or you could grow your career by relocating anywhere in the globe.
And the other thing, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, this is such a strong manufacturing area here in the Evansville region that I think we all have to be competitive when it looks at benefits and wages, because we have to consistently benchmark what everybody else is doing, because as we're trying to recruit and retain skilled team members, it's a challenge. So we kind of all have to do the same thing when it comes to pay and benefits.
I was just going to add, from a career standpoint, I mean, and when you think about a global company like Sabic or Alcoa or Berry, or Toyota, there's all types of careers. I mean, you go from somebody that's designing products to somebody that designs the process to make the product, somebody that's marketing, selling to our customers, and then all the way down to the manufacturing folks that operate and maintain the equipment. So it runs the entire gamut. I mean, we even have medical people, as some of the other facilities do. So anything you can think of, you can probably find it within our companies.
And I think, the students these days, they're so challenged with technology. They have to understand that manufacturing is not a mindless job. I mean, the equipment is very technical savvy. It's very savvy. So they get that opportunity to work on the computers or work on the technical piece of the equipment, even as an entry level. And they have to be strong in math. They have to be strong in some skill sets, but it's an opportunity for them to come in, learn, grow, and move up and around if they choose.
Well, we talked a little bit about this, attracting new employees and always trying to find new employees, the skills gap. Talk a little bit about that. You said this is a good area in many ways for manufacturing to be in, because you do have this workforce, but you're needing more employees always as baby boomers retire. Talk a little bit about that.
And I think from a skills gap standpoint, it's a problem nationally, not just regionally. And in our case with Toyota, as you look at skilled equipment maintenance or tool and die maintenance team members, we just don't have a lot of students that are getting into those fields. They're not sure, is that a career opportunity for them or not? And that definitely is. I mean, we partner with Vincennes University to do an advanced manufacturing technician program. The idea there is going to school, work while they're going to school. When they graduate, then we would hire them. So we kind of have to grow your own. And when you're out trying to recruit maybe skilled team members, they're just not out there, regardless of what type of avenue of marketing or advertising or recruitment tools that we're doing, we're still coming up short. And that's a long-term issue.
And I think it's so important for the teachers to come into our facilities and understand that, and to see what opportunities are available. They are the biggest influence on these students, and if they can share any information about these opportunities here locally or within our companies, that's a win-win situation, and encourage them and motivate them and grow and develop them, as Terry indicated.
And we have to educate the teachers, we have to educate the students, and we also have to educate the parents. Because if you don't have all 3 of those, then you're not going to get there. And it's not just the teacher boot camp. There's other things within the region we're doing as well like the tour of opportunity to get to the students, et cetera. So.
Yeah, but it's a good opportunity for those teachers and counselors to come in to see the facilities, to actually work in the plant for that week and various tasks, because they can take that real life experience back to the classroom. Because as we were saying, you know, we need that education to prepare our future employees to have those basic skills when they walk in the door. We'll all train them individually based on our skill needs at our operations, but when it comes to getting those students engaged in manufacturing for the potential careers, teachers and counselors are critical for making that happen for us.
But to get back, so that one part of your question around the skills gap, one of the items or a certain type of employees we always have a hard time trying to identify and hire is maintenance employees. So, and that's part of this program for those students who really they have a technical aptitude but really don't necessarily want to go to school and get that 4-year degree. The earning power for a maintenance employee in this part of the country is off the charts.
Right. A lot of good information. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate that. And we did have a chance to ask some current manufacturing employees to discuss the positive aspects of their careers. They gave us special insight about the benefits, opportunities, and the variety that can be found in the manufacturing industry.
Manufacturing has changed quite a bit just since the 16, 17 years since I've been here. But typically you heard about, grungy old factories and you're dirty, and today you'd be amazed what you would see.
Each one of us that comes in, we're not limited to where we're at when we start. We have the dreams and goals that we could become, maybe take our president's spot.
College isn't necessarily for everybody, but there's a lot of different options for a lot of different people out there nowadays, and I really don't think that the vocational skills are pushed as much.
All industry in southern Indiana that I'm aware of, in Kentucky, have had issues trying to hire qualified craft people, and they're good paying jobs.
There's supposed to be a skills gap, and it's growing. I mean, people that know how to do things, how to weld, how to process plastic, how to do auto body repair, this, that, the other. Everybody thinks that they need a 4-year degree to be successful and provide for their own particular lifestyle, and you don't necessarily need that.
Our former plant manager started out sweeping floors on the base level. Our former CEO of the corporation started out same thing as an apprentice and in a tool and die shop. Opportunities are what you make of it here, and they like to promote from within.
Due to the strength of the company, you know, if you went to work at it could be a very good job, but if you went to a place that makes one thing, you know, that's what you become an expert at, and that's what you would do. Here, you can go 10 or 15 different paths. Quality, manufacturing, technology, supply chain, support services, finance.
The situation is we need you to work on things to make them more efficient, to optimize them, or even correct issues that may have occurred. So there's always a great challenge there for that. You know, it's not like you're just going to be sitting and looking at drawings here or there or that. There's going to be a lot of opportunity that you'll even pick up more skills and talent and more education.
So part of our training procedure we're trying to get them to realize is that everything's done in an orderly fashion. We have standardized work. We provide key points to provide safety attributes and quality attributes for that team member building the process. Because our goal is to build a quality vehicle without that team member being injured.
But we don't want our employees to get injured at all. And so the approach to safety, what safety is, it's a culture. It's not just wearing gloves. It's not just, you know, reading a sign or doing a particular procedure a certain way. It is a culture of looking out for each other.
It's not all dirty. Yeah, there are some dirty spots in the manufacturing world. Yeah, there's some manual labor you have to do, but that's not all it is. There's actually a lot of technology that goes into it, and a lot of, you know, process improvement. There's a lot of math, there's a lot of science, there's a lot of engineering.
I got a little burned out in the job that I was doing before, working a lot of hours. I was doing well, but the income was up and down, and I didn't see my family a whole lot. I needed to do something different. I thought, well, I'll try this for a year. That was 7.5 years ago. I like my job.
Yeah, I'm very pleased the way things worked out. I feel like I've got a head start on a lot of people that went to college and come in to do my same job. You know, with the technology, all the robots, the skilled labor down there that keep this place going is really impressive to see, and I think it would change a lot of people's minds on manufacturing.
I think schools and counselors and parents need to evaluate each child as they are and what their pluses are that they like to do, and take it from there, because there's good pay, there's good benefits in manufacturing.
Welcome back. Joining us now is Dan Ulrich with Southern Indiana Career and Technical Center. And Dan, let's talk a little bit more about the Teacher Boot Camp and how important it is for teachers and students and helping them get ready for a potential career in manufacturing.
Great. Well, we feel like programs such as the Teacher Boot Camp is tremendously beneficial for our students in the region. And a reason for that is it's about careers and career awareness, and it's also about pathways. And I think, as we all know, students and teachers spend a lot of time together, and there are a lot of really good relationships that develop as a result of that. And if teachers have a foundation with regards to something like the Teacher Boot Camp and manufacturing, then they can relate that to the students, and you know, a student might possibly be interested in that as a pathway. I think the other thing they can do is, you know, oftentimes the student might be a middle level student. Okay, and at which point they can, if a student is interested, then they can help the student understand through the rest of their middle school years and high school years what they can do to pursue a career in manufacturing.
Yeah, we were talking about how it does help when you are a student to have some practical application of the skills you're learning, you know, to know that there is a reason why you're studying math or you're doing certain things, because it could help you in a future career.
Exactly, and oftentimes teachers who attend the boot camp, they will integrate many of the things that they've learned in the boot camp experience in their actual lesson plans, and which again gets to the relevance piece. And that makes learning relevant for students, and we all know that if learning is relevant for students, then they learn better.
So overall, a positive experience.
Oh, it's an excellent experience. And you know, I just would like to say that the partnership that exists between business and industry and Workforce One and education, all coming together, you know, to do positive things for students, is just a huge benefit, not only for the students, but also our community.
All right, thanks, Dan. Well, in our final video, area teachers who enrolled in the 2016 Teacher Boot Camp, they talk about why they decided to participate and share what they hope to take back to their classrooms.
I'm hoping to give my students a better view of what kinds of opportunities are actually available. They don't necessarily have to want to go to a 4-year program after high school. They can get a very good job when they enter an industry and be trained and educated by the industry themselves.
I'm really hoping that I can help my kids, bottom line. I want them to have the best future possible, so I'm, you know, willing to educate myself and become a little more knowledgeable as well.
So many teachers will go straight from college, straight into teaching, so we really don't have a foundation for what's going on in manufacturing. It's interesting for our students to ask us questions like, when are we going to use this in the real world? When maybe none of us has actually been in the real world to tell you how you're going to use it.
Advocates are being groomed, I think, by manufacturing, and we are those advocates. Business manufacturing seems to be reaching out, and they're informing us so we can carry this back to students and their parents and just say, hey, this is not at all what you may have in your head.
It's not what we learned about in the Industrial Revolution. Smog-filled, coal-filled air, children crawling into moving machinery.
I mean, companies nowadays really value safety. They value continued education. They value bettering yourself.
It's beneficial because, you know, not only does this industry have a huge gap that they have to fill because of these older generation, the baby boomers and stuff like that are getting ready to retire, and there's such a gap between the knowledge level and stuff that they have to start preparing for, but also I feel like we as a society have to come to the realization that these are really well-paying, beneficial jobs for individuals, and it does not require a 4-year education.
I think a lot of kids are under the predetermined notion that they can't be successful unless they go to college. I think that this opens up a whole new idea. You can come out here and earn a very good wage or a very good opening salary when you first come out, and maybe college isn't what you need. On the other hand, you could go and get that college education, get that college background, still be very successful if you want to come out here and work. I think there's enough of a ladder, enough of a tier system. There are so many opportunities out here, you can find your niche.
We're excited to have you on campus. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about this past 2 weeks that you switched careers in some aspect.
It's a culminating activity where I think they've certainly steered us towards specific topics under the umbrella of manufacturing and jobs and opportunities that it provides. But I think breaking it down so all 6 groups can sort of really hone in on one part of the overall equation is what we get to sit and take a look at.
We're here for a certain purpose. You have to be accountable. So that means if you're in a classroom, your number one goal is to become educated so you can perform these tasks, right? So we have to get this through the kids by implementing this within our classrooms to show them that you need these skills to get into the actual workforce.
There's not been a single place that we've gone to that has said, push your kids into this. It's just, give your kids a look at this.
These opportunities are out there and are very beneficial to individuals, and we as educators have to understand that we have to find out how to help our kids best, such as taking them and putting them on the right path.
I would definitely recommend this. This has been a great experience so far. I'm very impressed with the time that's used. I was surprised about how little downtime we had yesterday when we had our training, and I would highly recommend anyone go through this teacher program.
Even if it's for one kid in my classroom, I see how happy these people are with where they work. So why wouldn't I expose them to that?
Manufacturing is the backbone of Indiana's economy, and the Alcoa Foundation Teachers Manufacturing Bootcamp is designed to create a new job-ready workforce to meet the demands of today's manufacturing industry. The goal is to educate area teachers about a variety of manufacturing career options available out of high school so that students are better prepared to make decisions on a career path that's right for them. This has been Career Pathways, taking the technical lane. Thanks for watching.
Funding for this program is provided by Indiana Works Councils and Vincennes University.